Choose the back arrow, there we go. And there's your Ford 24 pounders. Old Faithful, they did pretty well. Let's see if they match up to the other ones. Well, there you go. They look to be the same length. Of course, they got different connectors, and I've already talked about that. O-rings look to be the same. Nozzle patterns quite a bit different. I'll get a close-up of that with the phone. Well, new technology. Should flow quite a bit more fuel. That's a good sign. That means I'm not going to have to worry about making any kind of different standoffs or anything for the fuel rail. Sweet. Yeah. I'll trip to the wire wheel. What I was going to say is that I think I'm going to put this in the intake manifold. I haven't decided exactly where yet. I'm pretty sure that's pipe fitting, and I've got taps for that, so I may wind up drilling and tapping the intake manifold just to keep it from getting fouled with reversion gases and stuff, and maybe get a better representative indication of the actual airflow. One thing I was also curious about was the impedance of these new injectors. Based on it's a Ford part, they talk a lot about it being a direct replacement. I want to see, let's see if we can get a, I don't know if we'll be able to see that or not, maybe. Should be able to see that. Okay, so we'll just go right straight across the terminals in this older injector. Alright, just cord hell here. Hold on. Stop it. Let's see what kind of impedance we got on these. These should be anywhere from 12 to 14 ohms, but I don't know if that reads it like that. There we go. Getting a good solid 14.8 ohms across those terminals. This really depends on how I hold it. Since it's so low, Try that again. There's 14.8, 14.9, best I can get, which is about what they're supposed to be. So here's the money shot. We'll see what we get from this. Because if this isn't pretty similar, we're going to have problems. That's kind of me not being able to hold these very steady. (12.1), 12.2. That's a high impedance injector right there. Anywhere from 12 to 14 ohms should be good. So that's not going to overload my injector drivers. Success. Is 1/8 the man? 1/8 is not the man. Is 3 millimeters the man? 3 millimeters is not the man. Is 7/64 the man? 7/64 is the man. Kind of an oddball size there, what you think? Alright. Put some torque on that. What? What are you doing? Yes, I can. Now we can go here. Let's see. Yeah, I caved. The throttle body was in the way. Yeah. And just watch. Once you get the top of it off, basically just wipes it off. That's pretty awesome. So, I got some other do it for camera, and I was going to spray on it. All right, ready? Was that ready? Oh. So pretty much just it doesn't make any underneath back up. So I did one side, did it wrong, so I did thousands to get the front up pretty quick. Pretty cheap. This way they can look inside. That's just going to be garbage, so no. Regular. So you go out there. I'm sure acetone will probably have done the same thing, because that's pretty much what this stuff is. But I need carb cleaner for other stuff, and freaking worked. Yeah. What do you think? This is one big honking piece of aluminum here. When I put it together the first time, I put a high heat ceramic coating on here, which is basically just a rattle can. I don't know whether it did any good or not, but you know what? It held up pretty well for all those years. I think part of this is black underneath. And there is absolutely no reason no reason whatsoever to polish this, because it would be a lot of work. I have to strip off all of this stuff, go in and smooth down all this surface here. Hard to get in all these little nooks and crannies, and it'd just be a ton of work, many hours. And so, since there's no reason at all to do it, I'm going to. All right, see how this looks. See how this works. We're not going to pull this out right now. There we go. We're going to try. Just an inconspicuous area first. Not completely away the marker from there. Oh, yeah, sorry, that's already. That's take off the first layer. But as soon as we're going to set up on the heat, that's right off. Black underneath probably so that may be a bit more resistant. And just have to wait and see what happens with that. Back to black. I got problems with the scratch up. Look at it like that. So it's the silver. I'm just up a little bit. Oh my God, I'm going to go later. See what happens down there. Yeah, just like that. Just check. There's a couple more there. Right there. There's one out here. I'm going to start with the high frequency where I can really picture what I'm saying, because you got to do all the eventually. And once you start with it, well, you're going to go. So I'm going to try to start with the already. Let's test it. And that doesn't do it. I'll go back 400 and set it off completely down. If you practice with a same distance on the scratch it, then you will cut it out. And it's not going to take a lot of time. But now you have to know how to do it. Just rub it out. Sometimes you have lots of muscle. So that thing's work. Like that. And this is way right now. Use wet like that. Just take it back to the water. See what's on the spots again. Stop there and set cars real quick. So let's see. One thing that I wanted to do while I had this thing off was reposition the air intake temperature sensor. I didn't like where it was in the stock location because I felt like it was picking up too much heat from the lower manifold and the cooling system. A series of holes being drilled in here until I finally finished with this massive 9/16 bit, which was almost 20 bucks at Lowe's. They had uh, really a large selection, meaning that this was the only 9/16 bit in the entire store. Now, I'm not waiting for the mail to send me something crazy from Amazon or KBC Tools or something, so I went with it. So I'll punch a hole where I want it to be. I sure hope there's enough room inside that plenum. I think there will be. Take two. Alright, that looks like there's enough meat there to hold enough MPT threads, so we're looking good. Step up to the next bigger size here. I'm obviously not going through every size, I'm just kind of stepping where each row doesn't have to do quite so much work. I'll probably do one more after this one, and I don't know what size they are, so. Sorry for the shadow of my lighting in my garage at night time. It's pretty poor. I'll work on it, I promise. Stop. Bastard, you gotta do that. Alright, and lastly, I'll do 9/16. Alright. And no, I don't have a tap handle. This ain't A-Bomb's channel. One of my favorites, by the way. I'm about to come out of there and start again. It's hung up on me a little. There we go. A little leverage this time. I really hold it here, pull this, and keep it on the other side. Just not making me happy. Let's try this. Let's see. That fits like right there. Is it BT taper? If I've got it big enough to get started. I think that's going to do it. All right, that's going to do it. This more. See what we get. Now we're trying to really interior here. Just want to get an idea what areas are low and high. I think already that top part is pretty low. This is a perfect surface, like a head surface, something like that. So we're really doing it. Hope you guys will appreciate that. Holy gasket. This will see what it's fine. There's a little bit of red area. There's a little hole right there. So you left these red areas. Alright, that's probably good. Clean off a little bit. Move on. I don't want to use the power tool if I can avoid it. Use something that tastes flatness. There's a motherboard. As long as there. More surface I keep on this thing, less likely to create a low spot. And really all I'm doing is trying to reverse and let go of the gasket material. So 600 grit, big deal pilot, not getting into 1,000 so not 2 turns, but the gaskets are pretty thick. And they tend to compress pretty well. So again, this is a head gasket surface. They're very general. So I don't know what the factory balance is here for flat. Work on strict low, but I'm not likely to disturb all that much. Keep it flat, keep it shrinking class. That's probably going to do it right there. White off, so we got. Yeah. Like I said, I'll do the rest of there. Just nothing. Knock down some of the high spots. Just a little bit of gasket material left. So I just go that way. Yeah. That'll be fine. And when I get the vertical where it attaches to the lower, so it doesn't sit up on that one spot. That was pretty good. We'll go with that. Okay. No money knockers. Alright, but last but not least on this, I'm going to blow it out. Now I want to try to get all that sanding, dust, and debris and everything else out of the manifold just to make sure there's nothing that'll get sucked into the engine. I think when I want to water like that, just put it, don't got it. See if anything comes out. Yeah, something there. Okay. All the tools. Pardon me. Pardon me. Yeah, that's a big spot there. See stuff right there. Check them out. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and flush it. Well, the surface might catch on those chips. Seems pretty good. That's probably not good. Fortunately, I should size reverse over the years. We expect we got in there 62 degrees over that. Whatever. I said before, I got it to